That feels like it's compounding on top of each other.
Yeah, when hearing that, especially when he used the word as sensitive, you know, a lot of guys hear that word and want to run away from it. Being sensitive to a number of different energies in the league is totally natural. Dealing with the ups and downs, the injuries that happen, dealing with people saying that you don't have the heart to want to play right now, and you know that this might be a worse injury than you're willing to admit to. You have to deal with all that, and I think it's all part of it. I do agree with Joel Embiid, though, that this is a very, very important offseason because, one, getting healthy at that size, you can't teach size, but you also can't deal with the repercussions that come with it. Like having a knee problem, an ankle problem, and then having that weight on top of it, it's a lot. You know what I mean? And for him to play at his dominant style of play that we like, it's like that's gonna abuse his knee. There's a lot of spinning. It's a lot of attacking angles and playing angles and, you know, getting to the foul line, doing the little stuff that we like him to do. But it's like, to do that, he does have to beat his body up. So take your time, get healthy, make sure you're all the way healthy before you come back, and make sure that you play ball time.
And when you talk about trust issues with Joel Embiid, it's not just about other people in the organization. It's not just about his bosses. He has trust issues with his body, which has betrayed him repeatedly over the years. And we are 18 months removed from Joel Embiid playing as well as we've seen a big man play. I mean, literally averaging more points than minutes, absolutely dominant, and his body just has not allowed him to do that since. And you can understand the frustration.
And that's what we just heard. Hearing to me that Joel doesn't know what type of body he's going to return to, feeling that sort of almost self-betrayal, that's really interesting. That would be really, really hard to deal with, especially because we talked about this before the show. This team was ostensibly put around Joel Embiid. After he won the MVP, they were very honest. The 76ers said, you know what, we know, and Joel Embiid was honest. He said, I'm not really built to play 82 games. I've won MVP. I'm not even sure I'm built to play 65 games. So we're going to go out and we're going to put a team around Joel, the focal point of this franchise, that is meant to help him to not have to carry that load. Tyrese Maxey, bringing in Paul George, drafting Jared McCain. In different ways, in different degrees, those players all got hurt, and this roster proved not to be able to help them achieve that one goal. And so now it sort of feels like we're having the same conversation about the same roster in an East that's wide open, and the 76ers should be able to capitalize on.
I get what you're saying, and I know that it probably feels like, for Joel, it's like, y'all aren't giving me, like, y'all aren't doing enough for me. Like, that's the confusion that comes, right? But it's like, health is the one thing that the ownership, the coaches, none of us can do anything about it. We want you guys to play this way, and we want you to, you know, fully commit to your bodies, but injuries are gonna happen. All been part of the game. We watched it be part of the playoffs and all finals runs. It's just part of the game. So it's like a little bit of that. You got to take your foot off the gas and say, we did have a team. You got to look at the roster and say, we did have a chance to do what we planned to do. It's just we didn't have it that year, which is why this offseason does become important.
It was derailed before the season even really got underway here. I went out there to interview the 76ers during training camp. A week later, those interviews couldn't be aired because injuries had already began to pile up for this team. But man, they're easy to root for. You root for Joel Embiid. You want to see him out there at his best, and hopefully this is the year, but it feels like we've said that before. I encourage everyone to go online and read this story, but still to come on Embiid. And Clark will miss this weekend's All-Star festivities in Indianapolis, where she had been scheduled to compete in Friday's three-point contest and is a captain for Saturday's game. In a statement, Clark shared that she's incredibly sad and disappointed, but that she will be in attendance on the sidelines to help coach. Now joining us, fresh off a flight to Indianapolis, with the latest on Clark's status for the weekend, Alexa Philippou. Alexa, what more can you tell us about the decision for Clark to sit out this weekend?
Yeah, well, certainly a bummer, I think, across all of Indianapolis, all of the WNBA world to hear this news. And we know that yesterday, Stephanie White told us reporters that it was a decision that Caitlin Clark and her team would be making, that she was going to stay out of it, and it was going to be something that they had to consider. Yes, how exciting and fun and important it would have been to have her participate in this weekend's festivities, but at the same time that they needed to take into consideration her long-term health, especially because now this is the fourth separate injury that she's had since the preseason, and knowing the second half of the season is coming up, knowing that the Fever want to take that playoff push, it just simply wasn't worth it for her to participate in that. She, as she said in that statement, needs to rest. So she's going to be involved, I'm sure, on the sidelines. We also know she's going to be at this very important set of negotiations for the new collective bargaining agreement that the Players Association and the league are having today. She told me the other day that she was going to be there and is definitely keeping a close eye on how those talks go. So that might be just as important as what she would have been able to do on the court. But certainly a bummer. Brittany Sykes will be taking her place. The league just announced that's definitely a well-deserved bid for Sykes, the Washington Mystics guard, but definitely a little bit of a damper on the weekend, and we'll have to see too. So we look forward, the Fever going back to the Liberty. It's supposed to be a game on Tuesday. We will have to see if Clark will be available for that, but given all of these injuries piling up and the fact that they're really trying to focus on her long-term health, then we'll have to see if she'll even be able to be available for that game as well.
Right, because she was sort of an iron woman through college and even her first year in the WNBA, and then this season now missing almost 10 games here is something we're not used to seeing from Caitlin Clark. Alexa, enjoy All-Star Weekend nonetheless, and we will see you soon. It does begin tomorrow night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indy. The three-point contest, the skills challenge, that's at 8 o'clock Eastern, and Saturday night, the 21st annual All-Star Game, it's on ABC. Coverage tips with our friends on WNBA Countdown, that's at 8 o'clock. So back in Vegas, Summer League action, it kept on churning last night. Here's a look at our big three players who made a statement last night. We're going to start with Jaeger. How are we saying it now? Because it was Demon at the draft. Yeoman, I think, is how he's saying it's pronounced. But
that looks like a demon to me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Demon.
Ooh, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, he demon now.
And then checking in here at number 2. Again from Summer League action, A.J. Johnson.
This kid can jump.
Yes, he can. Watch here. Gets the board. Out in transition.
Okay.
Put him in a little spin cycle.
Hey.
And one.
Can handle something too now. Look at that.
He can hit coast to coast. The Wizards would lose this game, but we got the highlight. At number 1,
there you
Yuki Kawamura.
There you go.
The Bucks and the Bulls here.
Him on the Bulls.
Kawamura drives, dime, no-look bounce pass.
Can see you.
You gotta see the three when the pass is that pretty.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
The pressure is on you. He did have 6 assists in the game, and the Bulls go on to win. Hey, in case you missed it, we need to work on our connection here on NBA today. Amon, I appreciate the love.
Oh, my God.
I got a little solo act there. That's okay.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my Lord. We're like the Sixers. We got some serious chemistry problems.
Well, we have a whole off-season that we get to work on it. Still to come on NBA Today. Let's get to Oklahoma City. Has OKC gone from the upstart to unstoppable? Why some believe Shea just launched the NBA's next dynasty. All that coming up right here on NBA Today. Word, I will announce it with that type of energy.
It's a big if.
Congratulations, though, to Shea, taking home the ESPY for Best Athlete Men's Sports. It is rare territory, just the 8th basketball player to take home this award, going back to Michael Jordan, who won at the very first ESPYs in 1993. But the trophy case is getting pretty full. This is just the last couple of months. A regular season MVP, Western Finals MVP, now 2 ESPYs, Best NBA Player and Best Athlete. We're not even counting the Larry O'Brien. I know the ESPY mom probably doesn't get the same positioning on the shelf maybe as the Finals MVPs, but he beat Ohtani, he beat Saquon, he beat Josh Allen. It feels like the year of Shea, it's just continuing. It's Shea's world, and we're all just living in it, Tim.
Well, you mentioned Michael Jordan there. Look, if you're talking about the season that SGA just had, it is the best season by a guard in the NBA start to finish since Michael Jordan's prime. And I can throw you some statistical cases. There you go. Look, that's the kind of company he's in. And then you talk about winning the scoring title, the MVP, the Finals MVP, leading the Thunder to a championship. Now, the question is, can he be like Mike over the long term? Is this the first of several? for the Thunder, that is certainly a possibility.
I love that all the Thunder players showed up. They were up for a team award as well. But to support Shai, even in the middle of the summer, everybody was there to sort of make sure their main man knew that we are still here to support you. You were so great on the Hoop Collective podcast during the NBA Finals, Amon, putting into perspective what his run meant. Was there a single aspect of it that impressed you the most?
My biggest thing that I watched with Shai is his ability. We talked about it a little bit before. People play checkers.
Yeah.
And he plays chess so well at the end of games that people don't pay attention to. If you watch Shai at the end of games, you'll see him pick matchups. But he's not just picking the matchup for who he can beat off the dribble. Shai already knows I can beat any of you guys off the dribble. 1 through 5, I'm going to get off. I'm going to get where I want to get to. But you start seeing him pick who is the help man. And I'm like, I only seen a LeBron do that. I can tell you whether Shai is going to pull up or shoot one of them floaters in between shots. I can tell you how he's going to do that based upon what matchup he drew.
Right.
But he will not put the game in your hands. And I think that is so impressive. You watch a lot of guys put the game in the ref's hands, put the game on your defensive rotation. Shai has figured it out where it's like, oh, I see what y'all are doing. Y'all trying to get the ball in my hands, but I'm shooting a 12-footer from right here. It's gonna have to be a fade to stay away from your shot blocker over here.
Right. But
I'm gonna get here, and to watch him be elusive to get there is insane.
It seems like he has a more maybe mature game than a lot of folks his age. And when you say put the game in his hands, he's also able to execute there. Because there's some players who put the game in their hands, and sometimes they're able to get the job done, and other times they fall a little bit short just because they're working on that consistency. The maturity in Shai's game, it's really poetry to be able to watch. We mentioned that the Thunder, as a team, they were up for the best team category. They did come up short. The Super Bowl champion Eagles took that one. I'm maritally obligated to say go Birds here. But Oklahoma City will be in the mix for a while here, especially when we're talking about the Board of Governors meeting this week. Adam Silver, he spoke directly about dynasties and about the Thunder. Take a listen.
I will say sometimes when I read reports of these unique champions each year, that then gets translated into some notion that the league doesn't want dynasties. I'm perfectly comfortable with dynasties. I like what we're seeing right now. I'm not ready to declare we're not going to have dynasties. I'm sure Sam Presti isn't ready to hear that.
I'm not ready to hear that either. I think dynasties are good for the NBA, but we are in the midst of an age of parity, and this is what the owners wanted. There are 7 different champions that we've had in the last 7 different seasons. It's the first time in NBA history there has been that many different champions over that 7 seasons.